Thank you for coming for me, Henry. You're a great friend. The best I could wish for.
After today, you may also count me among your friends. I, Vauclin Brabant. Chevalier, aventurier et voyageur. I'm at your service, mon brave Henri. And I have an excellent idea. In your honor, I shall name my new horse after you.
Pleased to meet you, Sir Vacula.
My name is Vauclin.
Vauclin?
Vauclin. Vauquelin.
Vauclin... would you mind if I just call you Brabber?
Brabant. En.
Brabant?
Que peut-on y faire? It will have to do not concern yourself, mon ami. Clearly, you are not talented in any art or conversation. But at least you have courage and other skills. You carried out the entire operation truly brilliantly. I could not have done it much better myself. And look, mon ami, how the fresh air suits Monsieur Chapon. He has finally stopped drawing in self-pity.
What self-pity, damn it? I was locked up for days in a tiny stinking room.
Ah, come now, mon cher. Luck was simply not on your side for once. That is all. Now we are finally free. The time has come for grand deeds. I did not waste my time in captivity. I fought everything over diligently. Listen.
Please, I'd prefer not to.
What's troubling you, Sir Hans?
What do you think? It all turned to shit again, and I ended up in captivity. I'm thankful at least that Hanush won't have to pay von Bergov a ransom for me. I'd never live that down, but I'll still have to listen to another lecture from him about how useless I am. Or do you have a different feeling about our Trotsky mission?
Well, true. Not everything went according to plan. Actually, almost nothing went to plan. But at least I finally got revenge on Istvan. That Horthen got what he deserved. Believe me.
My Christ, you got Istvan! That's welcome news. No one will miss that fucker. Nice work, but I don't think that'll help me much with Hanush.
Jobst is hatching his plans. Soon we'll kick Sigismund out of this country, and I think the bold Sir Hans will still have a chance to prove himself.
Mais oui! I must meet your Jobst de Moravie. I have some clever ideas about how to strike against Le Roi Sigismund.
Yeah, you go and chat with Jobst. At least I can get good and drunk in the meantime. Christ, wounds, such destruction and havoc.
War. Monsieur Chapon, you have yet to participate in a real battle. But I fought against les Valaques at Naples, and les Anglais in Bourgogne. And that is how war looks, whether in Italy or La Bohème. It is always the same.
That's not war, it's barbarism. What value did this village have?
Eh bien, I would estimate 5 courtyards. Annual revenues could be perhaps, several hundred groschen.
That's not what I meant, Bacalin. No fortress. Maybe one fortified courtyard. Practically insignificant militarily. That's not how war should be fought. This is unjust.
Do not give way to sentimentality, monsieur. A village could harbor spies and saboteurs or supply the enemy, and destroying enemy assets is an effective tool of war. Wars are not decided only in battles. There are not even many of those. To strike in the rear, make the enemy lose and bleed. That is how most conflicts are fought. However, wait a year or two, the village will be settled. The population will increase again. That is how it always happens.
But we're the nobility. Our task is to lessen the chances of such things happening. Here!
Of all the bandits in the whole wide world, we run into this pair of scoundrels.
I fucked everything up.
Oh, enough, lad. Everyone makes mistakes. Only a better man owns up to them. At least we know now what kind of vermin we're dealing with.
What brings you here? We just escaped from Malashov, and right now
There's no time for haste. One thing at a time, my boy. Word reached Ratai that you pair got yourselves into a nice mess. I'm glad to see you both in one piece. So, let's hear it. What happened?
It's best if Henry tells you. I wasn't around for half of it.
No sooner had we spied Trotsky on the horizon than everything started to go to hell. We made camp by a pond with the intention of heading for the castle at first light, only we were ambushed by bandits in the evening. They killed all our men and took everything they could carry, including the letter for von Bergov.
And how did you two manage to get out alive?
Just by a stroke of good luck. We were both in a bad way. We might not have made it if a local herb woman hadn't taken care of us.
Only after that, we couldn't get into the castle, though. We looked like a pair of beggars.
And the bastards treated us as such.
But you did get into Trotsky in the end, didn't you?
Von Bergov received us and heard us out. It seemed like he was on our side. We even helped him out several times. Until we found out he was just stringing us along. It all came out after we set out with von Bergov's men to deal with the bandits who were rampaging in his domain. The same ones who attacked us at the start.
Only they ambushed us and took me and Henry captive for ransom.
But it turned out these very outlaws are on our side. They're fighting for King Wenceslas on the orders of Sokol of Lamberg.
Well, I'll be damned.
So von Bergov has been the real enemy all this time. And Zhishka is actually our ally.
Zhishka. He's the captain of those outlaws. That name doesn't ring a bell.
I think you'll meet him soon enough.
What impression did he make on you?
He's an interesting fella. Handy with a weapon, but also pretty tricky. It's best to keep a fella like that on your side.
He made quite an impression on me, for one. I'll be happy to see him again. But if only it didn't have to be in Rabors. Why Rabors? Of all the places in the world.
We're riding to a gathering of King Wenceslas's supporters. If fortune favors us, the future fate of the kingdom will be decided there.
If we keep standing around here gabbing about it,
Patience, my friend. This...
like how in the devil did you manage to escape?
I was helped by the Ruthard family, the former rulers of Malashov, in exchange for dealing with some trouble they had with Ulrich of Raditz.
Ulrich Favak? But he's the mint master.
Well, he won't be for long, if it comes to light that he's been putting his sticky fingers on the royal silver.
It seems you've been pretty busy.
But don't forget to say what you found out from von Bergov in Malashov.
Sigismund has convened the city council. Markvart von Aulitz will be there with him, too. The word is, Sigismund is going to make an important announcement there.
He picked a nice time for it. But at least he won't be sticking his nose into what's going on around.
An awful lot has happened in the last few days.
I'm sure you are, son. But young Lord Capon will go with us to Rabosh. But you'll have to return to the city right away. And try to worm your way into the town hall.
What? How can I get in there?
You've got the dirt on Vavak, and you don't know how to use it? Just tell him
It's worth a try.
I hope that assembly... If Sigismund is just going to announce an increase in taxes, there's not much point in my being there.
Well, at least you can enjoy... And don't worry, I'll eat and...
T'inquiète.
Hans?
Vaclin bra...
He was...
In that case, the main... As soon...
Here?
Adieu et bonne...
And to you. I ought to go and see Rosa when I'm in town. No doubt she'd like to know how it went with that book.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Open my mouth and wait for it to rain.
What's the hold-up, innkeeper? I'd like to learn a few...
All right. I won't try...
Do you still have any of your brother's clothes?
Go back to where you...
What do you need, my friend?
Show me your...
Thank you. And a good day to you, friend.
I need something...
It could be better.
It could always be better.
Everyone wants me to give them things on credit. But do they buy anything? No.
Oh, come on. All you do is complain.
Maybe. And if you...
Let's talk about the price.
Sure. Why not?
What would you say to this?
That's more like it. Just a bit more. Aye. It's a pleasure doing business with you. Take care.
Another round. I'm putting this knife.
By the way, like you were saying about that book,
My favorite book. Pray tell, did you find it?
as I wandered through the fortress, I stumbled upon von Bergov's chambers, and there it lay. Red leather, gold inlay, just as you said.
You really found it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, did you have any time to leaf through it and see what it's about?
Actually not.
That's too bad. I think you would like it. And perhaps even learn a thing or two.
Why do you think so?
I just think you might find some common ground with the author. Not in absolutely everything, of course. That's just not possible. But in basic matters, I believe you'd agree. Look, you've never thought about writing something.
Me? And what would I write?
How should I know? Poetry.
That's a tempting notion. Who knows?
Wouldn't you want to at least give it a try?
I suppose I'm not quite sure where you're going with this.
There are still a few blank pages left, so we could finish writing it together.
That sounds great.
We'll have plenty of light and privacy in my chambers. Will you escort me?
My pleasure.
How should I start?
You haven't thought of anything yet?
Now, I have many ideas, but we must contribute in equal parts.
Both? Well, fine. What should I do?
Just tell me what you'd like to read about. A tale of a man or a woman? I'll take careful notes of everything.
There are heaps of stories about men, so I propose one about a woman.
All right, a woman then. But I'd need to know more about her.
Such as...
Tell me one trait that is important for you. What would impress you in a girl?
I admire courage in girls. They're weaker than men, and life is rarely easy for them, but they still don't give up.
Do you know one like that?
Tell me about her.
Oh, do I? If you only knew Catherine, you'd be surprised. She's tougher than half the men I know. When she gets mad, even demon spawn get goosebumps.
I wouldn't want to tangle with her.
Believe me.
Any other interesting ladies come to mind?
How could I not? After all, I'm looking at her.
You think I'm brave? Father says I'm more rash, always acting before thinking.
Well, nobody's perfect. But in my opinion, you're certainly brave.
Enough, you flatterer, or I shall blush. We'd better get to writing. Let's say we write about a woman who is brave and isn't afraid to say what she thinks. Would she do it for herself or for someone else?
For herself. She can afford to be a little selfish for once.
That may be true, but I still think it would sound better if she were also defending the interests of someone else. I'll figure it out somehow. Well, just about finished.
Well, let's have a look.
Not yet. Something's missing.
What?
A picture. I don't trust myself with proper illumination, but I think I can handle a sketch, especially if you'll be my model.
What? And what on earth do I have to do?
Lie on the ground on your stomach and swing your legs, but not much. Like you're lazing around.
Oh, that doesn't sound too bad.
Well, now we're done.
Oh, finally. I'm sore all over.
Your suffering is over. Come take a look at what we've done. Your reward. So what about that story of ours? Tell me your impressions.
That's nice. A bit didactic, but not to the point of boring moral bludgeoning. And that's the way it should be. Sermons for ordinary people work in a similar way. They entertain and encourage, with a few lessons added in between.
You see, when I lead Mass one of these days, I'll certainly think of you. And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right?
Oh, it's pretty, really. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I know I'm no master illuminator, but otherwise, I think we can be quite satisfied. And thank you for the help. I really enjoyed it.
Well, so did I. And for that matter, you're an interesting girl, and I'd like to get to know you a little better.
No beating around the bush. How about that? Please do stop by sometime. I wager it will be enlightening for both of us. Perhaps I can show you my collection of hunting trophies.
You said you could teach.
If you ask nicely, I'll share some of my...
Very well then.
That depends on what you're interested in. Or if you prefer actions instead. But I warn you in advance. So,
I'd like you to show me. You shoot like a.
I prefer the term Amazon.
Will you teach?
God be with you. Keep the peace, and we'll stay friends.
Greetings.
So, that thing with your arm, did you make up?
Not a chance. I'd sooner see hell through them.
Ah, that's a shame.
I'm going to see the Mint Master. May I enter?
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
I haven't.
All right, go ahead then.
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly.
The Assembly? The one King Sigismund...
Surely you wouldn't...
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Rutha. And tell the truth.
I want to know...
You want to spy? Do you know? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel?
All right, all right. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself or... And that will be the end.
All right.
You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an
Who's...
Front, which reminds... Otherwise...
What will I...
Far...
Excuse me?
Do you think you...
Well...
Are you...
Where can I...
You suppose that is...
The what?
That German...
What would you... I'll begin...
Just...
Andreas Lummel, Bailiff of Gutenberg, and the council as a whole are looking for volunteers to repair the city walls. Any of you has on to complain.
Leather! Here!
Greetings. What do you need?
You...
I am.
I'm Henry.
I am.
Supposing I took the job.
Look here. Them councillors stuffing... Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
Let me put it...
Finally, some... When I count, not to mention...
Try and...
What are you?
If you forget... If anyone asks, and then people...
And what if...
Oh.
If that's how...
Absolutely.
To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Well...
You're off to a great start, but whatever. If you make a mess of it and the king has you whipped, show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think...
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. I didn't get round to picking it up, so go and see...
Thanks.
You better...
Farewell, my friend. Buy some new plates.
The finest fine wares.
Quality goods.
Hats! Fur... The city council is organising a
Quality goods.
the
Finest wares.
Are they out of their bloody minds? They had two to let linen, canvas, the softest linen...
What will it be?
I hear...
Aye, but it was...
As it happens... Franta... He gave me a certificate.
I've got to go. Take care. Scoundrel.
Franta called...
Franta's not coming? What's...
He got poisoned. He's writhing in...
Oh, that's enough. All right. At least we can't be without a waiter here when the... So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. You can put your steel aside in front of the council. You don't want to be dragging a load. Everything as it should be. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily...
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhitz.
And if the king himself wants wine,
You pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't.
To stay
correct. And in general...
Oh?
Well, yeah. Understood?
Absolutely.
Correct. But you'll man...
I know it.
Excellent. Put away your thing.
There are the pictures of wine.
Our
Hopefully
current
I won't splash anyone's shoes.
And on
Hey,
top of
boy,
that, the
a full
army
cup of
was
monastery
requisitioning
wine.
from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
What are you getting? Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used
Come now,
that thing.
waiter. I wanted red.
That Hackenbücher. Hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying,
Come now,
Friedrich?
waiter.
All
I
I'm
wanted
saying
red.
is that they had them, Herrgott.
Sir?
It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than
Thank
the city
you, waiter.
garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want... defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
I'd like some monastery
And who is
wine.
it you want to
Refill
fight?
my cup, boy.
Exactly. The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
König and his army will not be
That's
here
not a good
forever.
idea, sir.
This is
Shut up.
unbelievable.
I'm
A king
sorry.
can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then? We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies, nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar
fancy
with the
some Tokai.
Yemeni
Refill,
state
boy.
of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes?
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming
Sir?
of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
I'd like some monastery wine. Refill my cup, boy.
I'm sorry, sir. Orders from
So,
above.
the cleanliness of the city is not what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're right, Jerome. But a woman named Betty has showed up and
More wine, Master Bailiff.
I have enough wine. Come
She's
closer.
a protege of Maresh.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Certainly. And they can get leeches there for free as well.
I can't. I'm supposed to serve the lords.
You're supposed to do what you're told. But suit yourself. I'll go and get it myself after the assembly.
Have you forgotten the Black Death? A great many people died needlessly.
Are you questioning
Hawkeye,
God's
and a full
plan?
cup.
The Black Death had nothing to do with the baths, unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important, but we don't have money to spare. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a waste of time.
It's only a waste of time because we're always arguing about the same
I'd
thing.
like some monastery wine.
Not at all.
Refill my cup, boy.
Finally admit
This
that
is
it's a
unbelievable.
trifle. We wouldn't have to keep coming back to it.
A trifle? Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know...
Waiter,
Gunslin
pour me some
absolutely
monastery
hates
wine.
him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident.
Well,
you were there, weren't you?
Oh, that. Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard?
boy!
Besides,
cup of
if
monastery
his men
wine.
attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Thank you, waiter.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him.
Hey, waiter,
and soon.
pour me some
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's
Sorry.
move on.
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly.
Well, thank you.
Why do I have the feeling you're not telling us the whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing me of lying?
Those are strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened, hmm?
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Ruthard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Ruthard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts?
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom to us. That German, Menhard, is just hanging around the market looking for trouble.
Don't be ridiculous, Forsucker.
Sir?
You act like you've never been in a fight yourself. And to
Don't hang around me. Vanish, you hear me?
Without a shred of proof. We're not some old fishwiser.
As you wish.
So you will just leave it be?
Proven offences are punished by the bailiff. And that's that. There are more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing than
Everything
the
in order?
open contempt
Not
of
quite.
the whole town
But I think you
garrison.
might be able to
The
help me.
guards are
Come
apparently
here!
settling...
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed... I can't...
The whole town is already laughing at us all day
I
long.
A fine servant.
More reason.
My words exactly. The town council is squabbling constantly at the Emperor Charles, and no one is left unscathed.
I'd like
And
some monastery
you,
wine.
a councillor,
Refill my
let
cup, boy.
people
Sorry, sir.
throw dirt on our work.
Orders from
If
above.
I threw out
This is
everyone who
unbelievable.
complains over
Otherwise
a
I'll
beer,
soon give myself away.
I'd soon be out of customers.
Ah, to hell with it. We'll never get anywhere like this. Why waste our time?
Since there is the eternal dispute over the cathedrals, the building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers. Right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to make a royal mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
You there,
Haven't you
lad?
noticed there's a war
A cup of
going
bread.
on?
And
Are
don't
the
you
experts
skimp
from
on me.
far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the
Sir?
city behind your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you?
About
And
time.
what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
Then hell freezes over, my friend. Your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me?
Waiter,
I
pour me
think
red
not.
wine.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you?
Sir?
I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Hopbrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this is news to me.
Because it has all been sorted out.
A full cup of monastery wine.
Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
So?
Thank you, waiter.
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this plan of fights!
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here.
Unpleasant. And now you. And you. Who knows?
You know what? Do you know?
Most we've had.
Wait a
Yeah, maybe you.
Who? He's got candy.
Besides, if he were.
How? Or
no. Why?
What do you?
What do you? I'll.
But
In.
Reconcile their approaches. Warring.